Imagine you are trying to send money to your family or buy something for your business. You click send, but nothing happens. You find out your country has been muted from the global financial system. You are not just broke, you are invisible. This is exactly what happened to Russia when they were kicked out of SWIFT. It was a financial death sentence. But in 2026, the game has completely changed. While the West was busy using SWIFT as a weapon, China and Russia were building a secret trapdoor. It is called CIPS, and it is a parallel financial highway that is currently ripping the dollar's crown off its head. We are talking about a system that processed over 180 trillion yuan last year and is now adding new members faster than a viral TikTok trend. If you think the dollar is safe just because it is big, you are not paying attention to the revolution happening right under our noses. This is the story of how China flipped the switch and created a new world order where the USA no longer holds the keys to the vault. Hello friends, welcome to Geo Unseen YouTube channel. Today we break down the CIPS revolution and Russia and China's new weapon against SWIFT. For decades, SWIFT was the only way for banks to talk to each other. It is like the WhatsApp of the banking world. If you are not on it, you cannot send or receive money across borders. But SWIFT is controlled by the West, and they have used it to punish anyone they do not like. In 2026, the world is tired of this financial bullying. China realized that if they wanted to be truly powerful, they needed their own WhatsApp. That is what CIPS is. It is the cross-border interbank payment system. It is not just a messaging app, it is a full-blown highway for money. It allows countries to trade directly in yuan, bypassing the dollar entirely. In early 2026, CIPS has reached a massive milestone. On the 1st of February 2026, China officially launched updated rules that make the system faster and more secure than ever. They now have over 150 direct participants and nearly 1,600 indirect participants from all over the world. This includes banks from Africa, the Middle East, and even Europe. They are building a digital wall that the US government cannot climb over. Russia has already moved almost 99% of its trade with China onto this system. They are showing the rest of the world that you can live, trade, and grow without ever touching a single US dollar. But it is not just about Russia. In 2026, we are seeing a silent migration. Countries that are worried about US sanctions are quietly signing up for CIPS as a backup plan. It is like having a second passport. If the USA decides to kick you out of SWIFT, you just flip the switch to CIPS and keep moving. This is making the dollar's weapon status useless. If everyone has a backup plan, the threat of being kicked out of the system loses its teeth. This is why the CIPS revolution is the biggest threat to US dominance in a century. It is a slow, steady, and unstoppable replacement of the old guard. Quick question for you guys. Do you think a global financial system should be neutral like the internet? Or is it okay for big countries to use it to punish others? Let me know what you think in the comments because this is the heart of the fight between SWIFT and CIPS. Now let us look at the actual plumbing of this new system because the numbers are starting to get scary for the dollar. In just the last 12 months, CIPS has grown into a monster. As of February 2026, it is processing nearly 180 trillion yuan annually. That is not just a little side project anymore. It is a massive financial highway that reaches over 190 countries. While SWIFT still has more members, CIPS is growing 30% faster every single year. This is because China is using its Belt and Road projects to force countries to sign up. If you want a new bridge or a high-speed train built by China, you better start using CIPS to pay for it. But the real mic drop moment happened just a few days ago. On the 1st of February 2026, China officially flipped the switch on a massive set of new rules for CIPS. They basically rebuilt the brain of the system to make it way more advanced than SWIFT. The new rules allow for mixed settlement. This means single big payments happen instantly, while massive batches of smaller payments are netted out to save money. They also officially brought in the Digital Currency Research Institute to link the system with the digital yuan. This is the secret weapon. In 2026, you can now move money across the world in seconds. using a digital coin that the US government cannot even see, let alone stop. And Russia is the ultimate test case for this. After being kicked out of the Western system, Russia had no choice but to go all in on CIPS. Right now, nearly 100% of the trade between Russia and China happens on this system. They are trading oil, gas, and even military tech without using a single dollar. This has created a blueprint for every other country that is scared of US sanctions. Countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and even some in Europe are now looking at CIPS as their plan B. They realize that if Russia could survive a total financial ban because of CIPS, then the dollar's power as a weapon is officially broken. But wait, it gets even bigger. India is the chair of BRICS in 2026, and they are pushing for a BRICS bridge. This is a plan to link everyone's national digital currencies together using the CIPS architecture. Imagine a world where India, China, Brazil, and South Africa are all trading in their own money on a system that is faster and cheaper than anything the West has. In early 2026, we are seeing the Enbridge project already processing over $55 billion in transactions. It is a direct hit to the SWIFT dominance. The world is splitting into two financial maps, and the CIPS map is the one where the growth is happening. Quick question for the crew. If you were a business owner, would you prefer a system that is controlled by one country but very popular, or a new system that is faster and cheaper but might be politically risky? Drop your answer below, because this is the choice that every major bank is making right now. The secret truth is that CIPS is no longer just a Chinese system. It is becoming the backbone of a new global alliance. By early 2026, we have over 1,700 banks plugged in. Even some major Western banks are quietly joining as indirect participants because they do not want to lose out on the massive Chinese market. They are playing both sides. They know that if they are not on CIPS, they are locked out of the biggest trade deals of the decade. This is how a revolution starts, not with a big bang, but with a quiet shift in the plumbing of the world. The dollar was the king of the 20th century because it was the only way to move money. But in 2026, there is a new road. It is digital, it is fast, and it is controlled by the East. The CIPS revolution is not just about technology. It is about who gets to decide who can trade and who cannot. The keys to the global vault are being copied, and the original owner is starting to lose their grip. As we move into mid-February 2026, the data is absolutely undeniable. On the 9th of February 2026, CIPS recorded a massive daily spike, processing nearly 1 trillion yuan in a single business day. This is not just a trend, it is a full-scale migration. While the US and China are locked in a strategic calm after their recent summit, the plumbing of the world is being rebuilt behind the scenes. If you push too hard, people will just find a new road. And in 2026, that road is paved with Chinese yuan and high-tech digital ledgers. The USA has tried to fight back with massive tariffs peaking at nearly 145% on some Chinese goods earlier, but it hasn't stopped the flow. Why? Because China has built choke points in rare earths and batteries that the USA still needs. It is a financial chess match where neither side can move without getting hurt. But the real winner here is the CIPS system. It has grown to 1,766 participants across almost every continent. Even European banks are quietly plugging in because they are terrified of being left behind if the dollar system faces another crisis. They are hedging their bets, and that is the ultimate signal that the dollar's monopoly is officially dead. But here is the final takeaway for you guys. We are moving into a multipolar financial world. It is a world where you might have 2 or 3 different banking systems running at the same time. You might use the dollar for one thing and the yuan for another. This is the G2 era that world leaders are talking about right now in 2026. The days of one country being the boss of everyone's wallet are over. The CIPS revolution has proven that if you have the tech and the trade, you can build your own rules. The secret map of the world is being redrawn by hackers and bankers and presidents. The CIPS highway is open for business, and the traffic is getting heavier every single hour. Whether you like it or not, the way money moves around the planet has been changed forever, and there is no going back to the old ways. If you want to stay updated on this global financial war and understand how these new systems will impact your life and your investments, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps us keep the lights on and bring you these deep dives that the mainstream media is too scared to touch. We are watching every move on the CIPS and SWIFT boards, so you do not have to. For more mind-blowing breakdowns of the new world order, subscribe Geo Unseen YouTube channel. We have a lot more secrets to uncover, and the 2026 landscape is just getting started. Thanks for hanging out with us today and for being part of the Geo Unseen crew. Stay sharp, stay informed, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace from Geo Unseen.